302 students, welcome to English 302, or as I like to call it, I can't think of anything. Perhaps maybe American history. Huh? Just a tinge? No? You don't want that? Okay. Well, whether you like it or not, we are going to dive into the magical world, the magical realm. I forgot what I was going to say. We are going to dive into the magical realm of U.S. American history. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've been reading American literature this entire school year. This isn't anything new, Mr. Gibson. Stop being so ridiculous. Well, you know what? I like being ridiculous, okay? So just talk to the hand, because the face don't want to listen no more. We're going back and looking at early American literature, and not just stories. We're going to explore some informational texts this week. Yay! Yay for informational texts! No stories. No real entertainment. Just studying a text for content and meaning. No narrative arc. No character development. No plots, twists, or resolutions. I'm depressed. But I'm not really, because I'm really excited. Informational texts can be just as thrilling as a story. I'm lying right now. But they can be helpful. They can be purposeful. They have value. And it's very important that we look at some of these important documents because they have helped shape who we are as a people, as a country. We're going to look at how symbolism can even be used in informational texts, not just in stories. It's not just for stories anymore. And so this week you're going to look at the Constitution. But wait, hold on. Not just the United States Constitution. In fact, that's kind of an afterthought. That's kind of the thing that you're going to do after the lesson. You're going to study a portion of the Iroquois Constitution. The Iroquois nation was a group, several tribes of Native Americans, and we're going to look at the Constitution that they developed in the 1700s. Okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to look at the United States Constitution, specifically the portion that contains the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights features, the amendments that we are all used to, the first 10 amendments. And so you're going to look at both of these documents. You're not going to read, obviously, everything in each Constitution, but you're going to look at them. You're going to look at, try to identify some symbolism. You're going to look and compare and contrast the similarities and differences, hence why it's a compare-contrast lesson. And then I'm going to have you write a short essay comparing and contrasting these two different documents, these two different but similar, from two very different people and cultures who have influenced what we are as a nation today. Now, in your writing assignment, one of the things that I've asked you to do is to, after looking at these documents, infer what the document is saying about the cultural perspective of these two different groups. Are there similarities between the two different cultural perspectives? And what are the differences? Now, a cultural perspective, let's talk about that for just a second. Everybody has a perspective. We're all unique. We're all different. We're all special. We all have a special way of looking at things. But even though we are all unique and all different and all individual, our perspectives are shaped by our families, shaped by our religion, if we have one. They are shaped by our friends, the schools that we attend, places of work. They're shaped by the entertainment that we consume and watch. And so there are all these factors that play into our perspective. Once you branch outside of yourself and you start looking at how your community maybe considers things, So for example, our cultural perspective on flatulence, right? That's gas. It's farting, okay? In our culture, it's funny. It's hilarious. Take this clip, for example, of, just watch it.
Discussion.
Madam President?
Yes.
I move to add the emergency clause.
Second, adding the emergency clause.
And discussion. Mayor, would you like to speak regarding this?
That's a first.
What was your question? The agreement for architectural daylighting.
Oh, boy.
Can't make this stuff up. This is a revolving loan that comes from community development block grant money. We've been working on this with the state for literally months. It's been passed through the county.
We'll wait.
Long after we're gone, they're still going to be discussing.
We ought to have a reset.
Okay, so that was funny, right? Right? The serious meeting couldn't go on because somebody farted. Okay? Now, in other parts of the world, not every part of the world, in other parts of the world, farts are funny. But in some parts of the world, it's as common as sneezing. You sneeze or you cough, it's you. And it's just a part of being human, right? And we treat it that way when something happens like that in our culture. But in some cultures, for example, my friend lived in Taiwan for 2 years of his life, and he was in the home of somebody, and he was actually serving as a missionary, and he sat and he was teaching them, about different aspects of his church, and then right there in the middle of it, the people just farted loudly, and they didn't even flinch. There was no recognition of what just occurred, and he realized that it was just a thing. It was just like sneezing. It's just like coughing. It's a very weird and silly example of how cultural differences, cultural perspectives can be different for different people, but I hope you get my understanding on that. So you're going to look at maybe how these two different documents, how they illustrate or what they show, what evidences are there that help shed some light on the types of cultural perspectives that these two different groups have. Well, I hope I haven't traumatized you too much. But if I have, you know what? I'm not going to apologize for that. Okay? If you're traumatized, you probably need to grow some backbone. I'm just kidding. If I offended you, please forgive me. Please, I'm serious. Forgive me. Okay? I do not want to hurt anybody's feelings at all. You are also wonderful. Thank you so much for just being you. Okay, just be you. Don't listen to the haters in the world. It only matters what Mr. Gibson thinks. Actually, that's not true. It doesn't even matter what I think. All that matters is that you're true to yourself. Okay? Bye.